Hello and welcome. This is WTii, and I'm throwing down another vlog for you out there. Throw it right at you. It's going to be a vlog about eating, I suppose. There seem to be a lot of comments asking about food habits and such, and yeah, I can chat about that. My experiences with food thus far and continuing into the future is ever changing. Ever changing, I'm telling you. Food is it's a crazy one, and I don't think anyone will ever get true control of the food that they eat and how they eat it. It'll take a long time, many years, and I'm 29 now, so I've had enough years to learn from my mistakes, put it that way. If I go all the way back, and I've got some pictures here I can throw up on the screen, but I'm not sure how it's going to look because I'll throw it in during the editing later on. But unfortunately, this is the only picture I have of like some of my bad habits, and I had a lot of bad habits when it came to food. But I'll throw this one up there, and as you can see, there's all different types of sweeties and chocolate bars and chocolate raisins. Essentially, the worst kind of stuff you can eat. And I'm not a sensible eater. Well, I'm a bit more of a sensible eater these days, but back then, I'm the kind of person that once they've opened up a packet, regardless of how big that packet is, I have to finish it off. So, if I go all the way back to, say, even my school days, I used to, well, back in college, I used to go out with a mate down to the shops and the local co-op, and they used to have like these big double packs of McVitie's digestives. I'm sure I'm going to throw out a lot of names there. This is no advertising, but they are big packs, and I'm not joking, they're about that long. It's about 800 grams or something like that, quite a bit more than that. And I would eat all of them, chocolate digestives, gorgeous. But I would never just eat a couple or a few, I'd have to eat them all. And I don't know why that is. It's just almost part of my OCD, and I'm sure I'm going to bring OCD into almost every video I do. But I have to have it all, and I've struggled with controlling myself, especially with food. It's taken a long time, and yeah, a lot of bad eating has happened in my life, and that's partly. Well, it's a very big reason as to why I am the way I am these days, as in super controlling and super disciplined with what I eat. And a lot of people will sort of like be, oh, you know, just have some sweets here and there, it's not going to hurt you. Now, let me just get this out there. If you're capable of this, then go ahead and do it. Moderation is the key. I am not capable of moderation. It is not within my vocabulary. Well, despite the fact that I just said it, but I've forgotten it. Boom, it's gone. Okay, what was that word again? Yeah, so, yeah, I don't do anything evenly. Like I said before, I either go all out or I do nothing. It's one or the other. And I can't have a good balance. And that's, if you're able to do this, then please, by all means, have a good balance. You know, eat well, exercise, and maybe treat yourself to a cheeky chocolate biscuit or so so forth every now and then if you wish to. But it's not for me, really. I have to go all out. And if I go a little bit further back, I used to be parents. I would only get so much money. I've never been a kind of wealthy person in the sense of what I've been given in life. I've earned my own money. And even then, not that much. Well, as much as I can do. I am very good at saving my money, but that's probably time for another video, to be honest. I'm not going to go into that. But basically, I've never really been given much in life. And when I had the opportunity... Well, let's stick with this story for the moment. Back when I was younger, my parents, at the very least, would definitely get me... well, buy these bottles, 2-litre bottles of lemonade and Coke, and I would just drink. They were supposed to be just for the weekends only, and up for a while, till I was about 12, 13, they basically were. Then past that point, I started having them every day. 2-litre bottle of lemonade every day. I don't know how I got into that pattern, but I did that for a long time. And now all I drink is water. Good old water. I might have some orange juice or I might have some tea, but generally 99% of what I drink is water. Can't beat that refreshing taste. So that's going to give you a little clue where I'm going with the food here. So I used to drink shite loads of bad stuff for me, and now these days I only drink healthy stuff, aka water. You can't go wrong with water really unless it's polluted, but let's face it, I'm not going to be drinking polluted water unless it's accidental. So I don't drink lemonade now or anything like that. At the very most I might have some at the weekend or something like that, just Coke with some fish and chips or something like that, even if I'm doing that. Otherwise just water. So going back to the food, let's see, when I was able to start affording, or basically when I started working, which was like 15 to 16 years old, that was like just doing sort of like co-op, basically working in the co-op, just sort of like a cleaner, stocking up shelves, just that kind of work. And I would only get like 20 quid a week, and I used to think that was amazing, and a lot of that money would go on food and treats for myself. So I'd go down to town and I'd buy myself all sorts of goodies. It's unbelievable. I mean, in that picture I showed you earlier, it's just, you don't get to see all the cookies that I used to buy. I used to buy so many, and there used to be like 2 for £1.50 kind of deals and things like that, or 2 for £1. It depends. This is going back in the day, way back in the day. And yeah, I used to have a lot of cookies, sweets, chocolate bars, you name it. And there was nothing I liked more than sitting down watching a film I really wanted to see, most of the time a comedy or something like that, comedy, fantasy, whatever it might be, and just pigging out on cookies, Smarties cookies. And I'd have a whole bag. There'd be a bag of 5 cookies, but that wouldn't be enough. I'd have a bag of Smarties cookies and a bag of Rolo cookies or something like that as well, on top of the Galaxy chocolate bars and refreshers and lots of little sweets to have in between, and chocolate raisin. Beyond belief. You wouldn't believe it. I was terrible. And I used to pig out on this and watch a film, and it's like the ultimate feel-good feeling, really. It's comfort food. You're watching something, you're into something you really like doing, and you're just blowing your endorphins everywhere. This sounds really dodgy. I kind of meant it to sound that way because it is essentially as close to possibly a sexual experience without actually being sexual. I don't want to get too dirty here, but let's face it, when you are eating food like sweets and chocolates and stuff like that, it does set off certain endorphins, certain feelings that are somewhat of a close equivalent to some naughtier feelings that you might get. Now, straying away from that and going straight back forth onto this food path, this evil food path, yes, I ate many bad things in my time, and I did that for a number of years, probably up until about 22, 23. So for a good 8-9 years, something like that, I was eating just absolutely terribly. Also, I'd be having pizzas and stuff like that, buy loads of them, stick them in the fridge, put them in the oven, put no effort into it, just cook them up 15 minutes, 20 minutes, boom, you got a pizza. And I'd have the whole pizza. I wouldn't eat light, I'd eat the whole damn pizza. And I'd probably actually, on top of the pizza, have garlic bread and stuff like that. And then, that wasn't just that meal, it wasn't like, oh, okay, I'm going to stop eating for a while. I'd have the chocolates, the cookies after that. So, proper engorged in food. And these days, not so much. Now, I'm on a very tough balance at the moment, and there's plenty of other guides out there, obviously, on the internet. I mean, you just have to look at the YouTube page for some fitness advice and stuff like that. So I highly suggest you go to those sources before you even come to me, but I'm just talking from my personal experience here. And from what I understand, you basically want to aim, if we're going to keep this short and sweet, you want to aim, if you were being healthy, you want to aim to about 5 to 6 meals a day. If you can get more than that, then go for it. But these meals are very small, you know, literally the size of your fist, basically. You don't want to eat much more than the size of your fist. You know, it actually looks like I've got a big fist there, but not really. It's just a handful of food, and then you should be done. You basically only want to eat Not when you're hungry. You always want to be, content. Just, what's the thing? Like, you don't ever want to be hungry, but you don't ever want to be full. You just always want to be just filled enough that you're not full, and at the same time you're not hungry. So it's the balance between those two. And you want to go for that, basically. So if that's my advice to you, then don't eat all the sweets that you saw in that picture, all the cookies, all of that. Eat sensibly. Okay, I'm going to give you one amazing piece of advice that you may have heard before, and I'd be surprised if you hadn't. And it's a really weird, bizarre piece of advice. But basically, eat less, exercise more. Now, that sounds really bizarre, really strange, but there's some truth to it. What you do is you don't overfill your stomach. So if you're getting bloated, if your stomach's like sticking out after you've eaten too much. Simple as that. And yeah, you don't want to be doing that. So you always want to be eating a lot of meals, but only very small meals. The reason for this is it keeps your stomach ticking, it keeps your metabolism flowing, and it means that you're breaking down that food, feeding your muscles, your body, the nutrients it needs consistently. And I'm not going to go into too much more details because, quite frank, I'm not an expert on the matter. So if I go any further down that road, I'm only going to be giving you misinformation. But basically, eat small meals, but eat lots of them. Have a good 2 to 3 hours between each meal, something like that, if you can. This is in an ideal world. We all live very different lives, very difficult lives, very hectic lives these days. And most of the time, we just don't have the time. Which is the reason why a lot of people eat badly and they just eat quick ready meals and stuff like that, because they don't have the time or the effort to put into eating well, and obviously do exercise. Now, if I could give you any advice, it's that if you're interested in getting healthier, and that goes for fitness and food, just healthier in general, you look after your body or look after you. That's the way I see it. I plan to live a long time. And I want to be as active as I can be for as many years as possible. So that's the reason why I want to be as healthy as I can be, because it's not just pure OCD. It's because I want to look after myself. I want to live a good life. And the best way to do that is to give my body the best chance possible to stop me from feeling pains and aches. And in doing so, I'm going to have to do a bit of exercise. Sure, I'm going to have to put some effort in. I'm going to have to eat sensibly. Sure, I'm going to have to put some effort in. But the payback you get from it, you feel so good from eating well and exercising. It overtakes the temporary, limited time, the limited feeling you get from eating badly. When you eat badly, you feel good, but for a very short time. Whereas if you don't eat badly at all, you feel amazing for a long time. I don't need to eat all those sweets. I'm looking at this picture still, but I don't need to eat all these sweets. Don't need to. It's not necessary. And I'm kind of running out of time here, but if I just throw up some pictures quickly of what kind of meals I have been eating, you can have a look at the healthier type of things I've been eating. If I can try to explain these. Pork chop, cheese, lettuce, those were like ones a few years ago. Then I have these self-made sort of what are they called, chocolate flapjack kind of things with lots of protein bars, basically protein bars, and apples and oranges. But there's the huge protein bar itself once it's made. And then later on, eggs. I've cut eggs and bread out of my diet now. I don't really have much dairy because I don't believe dairy is very good for you. Then going on to further meals, there's asparagus, and I think that's an omelette. Then there's shite loads of peas and a mackerel. So basically, I haven't really got enough time, and I might have to cover this tomorrow or something like that. If I go back into this tomorrow, I'll give you some more information regarding food habits. But all I can say is, for now, eat less in general. It's so easy to overeat. That's the problem. And I'll cover this tomorrow. I really am running out of time. I'm very sorry. I'm trying to do these. I could do 2 parts, but I'm trying to do these one a day if I can, not overflow the vlog scene, as it were. One a day is quite a lot, to be honest. And yeah, I've got to cut it now. So I apologise and stay tuned for tomorrow, I suppose. See you later.